Welcome, family. Thanks for joining me for another discussion about Power Season 4 finale. I was asked a question: why the St. Patrick's families aren't crying so much? Right? Where the tears at? They just lost their baby girl. What's going on with that? How come they ain't crying and grieving? Well, let me share my answer with all of you. All right, if you allow me, I like to moonwalk back to the past because it always goes back to our childhood. First, I want to talk about Ghost. Ghost is at home with his father, single parent father. Father's alcoholic. Don't know what happened to his mother. If somebody out there know what happened to Ghost's mother, please leave it in the comments below. Okay, so he's there, alcoholic father. He's left to his own devices. He's in a home that's neglectful, just like he's doing with his kids. He's neglected them as far as finding out what they're really doing. So the pattern repeats itself. All right, so Ghost is in his home with his father, and I can't remember. Somebody might know. Leave it in the comments if you do. Did Ghost's father own a club? I don't remember that. I remember Ghost saying something, I think in season 1, when he's across the street from the club looking at it, but I can't remember if his father owned the club or not. But anyway, since Ghost is being neglected and he's able to run the streets free will, he meets Tommy, of course, who's like his brother, and he also meets Kanan, who he looks up to. Kanan takes him in and teaches him about the drug game and also the murder game. Nothing good. And I know while Ghost was on the streets, he done seen quite a few things, probably lost quite a few friends. Might have had to take him out himself. In fact, Kanan and Breezy picked Ghost and Tommy on. Ghost killed Breezy and set Kanan up to go away to prison because he couldn't kill him. He felt something for him that he couldn't kill him, so he sent him away to prison. Tasha, I'm gonna look at Tasha real briefly. Tasha, she's in a household with both parents, but her dad is out there cheating, so she's being neglected. Her mother has no problem with her pursuing James, knowing that he's a drug dealer. In fact, currently, James is paying her bills, paying the mom bills. And that's why the mom didn't want Tasha to leave him right away, because she told Tasha, James is paying my bills. You ain't as smart as you think you are. All right, so we look at Ghost. Ghost had one true love, which was Angie, who had to go away to a school. Her father probably pushed her away to that school. Ghost had an opportunity to go to that school, but he refused. You got to remember, Ghost was probably around 12, 13, 14 years old, somewhere in that age group. So if he left, he would have leave his alcoholic father, Tommy, and Kanan. And that's just too much for this young boy to do. He loved Angie, but giving up his whole, what he would consider his family, it was just too much at that time. Had he been grown, of course we know his decision would have been made differently. But at that age, he couldn't do it. It was too much. So he starts dating Tasha at some point when Angie leaves. Now Tasha has daddy issues, and we all know some people with daddy issues. All right, so Tasha, so either one way they become either attached onto a person, gullible, somebody that's not good for them, or they come the other way, nobody's gonna hurt me. Tasha case, she came last on the Ghost. Who did she think Ghost was gonna be? The biggest drug dealer in New York City. Mom had no problem with that, because she's the young pretty girl. That's what you're supposed to do. Run away with pretty girl, get with the drug boy. So, I'm sure Ghost was not really feeling Tasha at this moment in time because his head is with Angie. Now, they get pulled over by the police, and because she had these daddy issues, she was willing to put her freedom at risk for this man who probably wasn't really paying her that much attention. She puts the gun in the pocketbook. We all know how that story turned out, but the fact that she was willing to do that, and that's New York City, that's automatic going down. Oh man, what's the guy that shot himself in the leg in the bar? He had to do jail time for the NFL. So you know New York, you going away for a gun charge. So because Ghost had his voice and nobody was tuning into him emotionally, she made that gesture. He ended up marrying her. And we all know the rest of the story. I just wanted to talk about that. Now, as we go on to season 4 finale, this season 4 finale was really about grief. It wasn't about tearing up. It wasn't about all that. It was really about revenge. The grief they was feeling brings out revenge. Because I'm feeling pain, I'm going to look for the person that did this and make them feel the pain that I'm feeling. And in that, I will feel better. Never worked out like that. sounds good at the moment, but it never works out like that. That pain don't go nowhere. Your mind never goes nowhere. You can run or do whatever you want to do, but in a quiet moment or when you stand still, your mind will catch up with you. And that's why most people start using drugs or drinking. Okay, I ain't gonna get into that right now. But, so that's why we don't see the tears for two reasons, I believe. One reason is the way they grew up and the way they handle situations. When emotional things happen to them, they begin to look out for revenge. Not tearing up, not crying. They ain't got time for all that emotional stuff. They want to make somebody pay who's hurting them. The other thing is, like myself, I lost my grandfather. When I had to run around and plan his funeral, everybody else had time to grieve. But I had to plan the funeral, get the family together, get everything together. So I couldn't have time to grieve at that point. So when the casket was lowered and they started putting dirt over the casket, that's when I started feeling it. And that's when it just hit me. So I think season 5, during the funeral, you will see the tears that you're looking for. But right now, they was on a mission and they didn't have time to grieve. When ghosts, sometimes you see them, the films will start coming up. We're looking at the baby girl picture and her necklace and stuff. The films will start coming up, but he suppressed them, and the anger came out. So to answer your question, I think it's normal at this point, and I think the season finale was about revenge. The way of grieving at this moment is revenge. Season 5. During the funeral, I believe you will see the tears that you're looking for. Hopefully this answers your question. If not, let me know. I love y'all. Peace.